Welcome to another vibrant gathering here at Goddess Garden Book Chat. I'm your host, 11 Goddess, guiding you through blooms and vines of literary wonders. Whether you're here to laugh, cry, ponder, or just sip your tea while we soak up the vibes, you're in the right place. I'm so glad to be on this literary journey with you, and I'm glad that you're here. Here in the Goddess Garden, we're all about exploring stories that move us, books that make our hearts race, our minds expand, and our spirits rise. This is our space for bold storytelling, unapologetic reviews, and deep dives into the worlds our favorite authors have created. I especially think that is so true of the journey that I've taken us on so far and the journey that we're about to go on. In this celebration of culture, we're honoring the rich tapestry of Black voices in literature, from stories that weave our heritage into the fabric of the future to tales that challenge us to reimagine the past, build resilience, and share brilliance. Today marks book 4 of our reading challenge journey, a milestone that reflects our commitment to amplifying powerful narratives. Let's keep building in this legacy, one page at a time. And, it was interesting when I thought about how I would celebrate this month because I've been embracing a lot more of the perspectives of what make me me. And when I thought about it, and I was like, well, I'm already doing book reviews. But what if I took a real cultural focus across genres? And this is what I came up with. Now, as always, our garden thrives on connections. So don't be shy. Drop your thoughts. If you have favorite quotes from this book, I'd love to hear them. Or questions, come and join us in the chat. Please include those comments and let's get this conversation going, because this isn't just a book club, it's a family. A hive of ideas where every voice matters, whether you're tuning in for the first time or you're a seasoned garden dweller. I see you, I appreciate you, and I'm thrilled you're here. Today's pick is a real gem, and I can't wait to sink my teeth into it with all of you. So get comfy, and let's turn this page together. Are you ready to bloom, GGBC? Let's go ahead and do this. Candles flicker with a gentle glow in the silence. Let my mind flow. Turn the pages.
All right, strap in, everyone, because today we're going deep into a world where funk music, well, it bends time, cities pulse with this neon energy, and ancestral memories, get this, they fuel a revolution.
Sounds intense.
It is. We're talking Archangels of Funk by ANDREA HAIRSTON.
Oh, fantastic choice.
You sent in a review, and now it's getting the full deep dive treatment.
Love it.
This isn't just any sci-fi adventure story, though. Think Afrofuturism, social commentary, a whole lot of soul.
What I find so captivating about this book is, it's how HAIRSTON uses the genre to really explore real-world issues. It's not just escapism, right?
Right.
It's a reflection on identity, resilience, finding your voice, all that.
Before we go too far, can we paint a picture for our listener?
Sure.
What's this world, this Archangels of Funk world? What is it like?
Oh, absolutely.
I keep hearing about this city, Utopia Noir. It's practically a character itself.
Oh, it is. Imagine a futuristic metropolis, but it's pulsing with neon lights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bustling holographic marketplaces, and there's this omnipresent rhythm of funk music everywhere.
Okay, so it's got a good beat.
It's like the city has a heartbeat, and that heartbeat is pure funk.
I like it, but it's not all, glitz and glam, right?
Right.
The review mentioned something about Utopia Noir reflecting the struggles of, marginalized communities.
Absolutely, yeah.
How does that play out?
So Utopia Noir is this place of contrasts, right? You have this incredible technological advancement. But at the same time, you have these communities grappling with, inequality and the legacy of oppression.
Oh, wow.
So it's a reminder that the future, it's not always a utopia.
Right.
It carries those echoes of our past.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the past, one of the things that, intrigued me about this book is the idea of funk music, not just as entertainment, but as a force.
Oh, yeah.
We meet Lucinda, this musician, and her performances, get this, they can actually bend time.
Yeah.
It's wait, is this magic? What's going on here?
It's not magic in the traditional sense. What HAIRSTON does is she gives funk this incredible power, almost like this life force, right? It flows through everything. Think of it music has always been a way for people to connect, to express themselves, to resist even. Hairston, she takes that idea to a whole other level, suggesting that music, especially funk, which has its roots in Black culture, can be a tool to literally reshape reality.
That's a really cool concept. It reminds me of how certain songs can evoke these like strong emotions, memories,
Yeah.
even physical sensations. It's like music can unlock something deep within us.
Exactly, and that's a key theme in the novel, right?
Mm.
That music is like this conduit to ancestral memories, to this collective history that's often been like silenced or forgotten.
So it's bringing that to the surface.
Mhm.
Okay, that makes sense. And that brings us to Lucinda,
Yeah.
our time-bending musician. She's described as this incredibly resilient character.
She is.
She channels those ancestral memories through her music. What does that tell us about her?
It's fascinating, right?
Yeah.
How does that tie into this whole idea of funk as a force?
Well, Lucinda's just this fascinating character, and she embodies that theme of resilience perfectly. She's not just a musician, she's this conduit, a channel for the voices of our ancestors, for a history that's trying to be heard. And through her music, she can tap into that power, that collective memory, and use it to actually shift time, shift perception.
Wow.
It's like she's saying, we will not be silenced, our stories, they will be told.
That's powerful.
Even if it means rewriting the fabric of time itself.
That's incredible. And then we have Rico, right? The hacker fighting corporate control.
Oh yeah, Rico.
What's her story? How does she fit into this world?
So Rico is all about pushing back against the systems that try to control her, define her.
Mm.
As a queer Black woman, she represents that struggle for identity, right?
Mm.
In a world that tries to erase difference. And her weapon of choice. Technology makes you think, right?
In a world where technology can be used for surveillance, for control, can it also be a tool for liberation?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So we've got funk as this force for change. We've got characters defying the limits of time and technology. What else should our listener be prepared for on this wild ride?
Well, there are these mysterious figures. They're called the archangels, part machine, part mythical beings, representing different cultural archetypes.
Okay, so they're a little bit of everything.
They're like these living embodiments of history and myth, blending the technological with the spiritual. It's Hairston's way of exploring our anxieties about the future, I think. Are we becoming more like machines? Are machines becoming more like us? What does it even mean to be human in this age of, rapidly advancing technology?
That's a lot to unpack.
It is.
It's not just about the big questions, though, right?
Right.
There's this incredible sensory experience that Hairston creates. The review mentioned her writing style being rhythmic and almost musical.
Yeah, it's like reading a funk song. You can practically hear the music pulsing through the words.
I love that.
And that's not by accident,
Right.
right? Hairston deliberately crafted her prose to mirror the rhythms and the energy of funk, creating this really immersive experience for the reader.
That's so cool. And speaking of immersion, we can't forget January Lavoie's narration, which the review calls phenomenal.
Oh, phenomenal.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
From what I've read, she really brings the characters to life, especially Lucinda.
Absolutely. Her performance is so nuanced, so dynamic. She captures the spirit of the novel perfectly, giving each character a unique voice, bringing that funk energy to life. It's like she's performing the book, not just reading it.
I like that, performing it.
Yeah.
And the review specifically mentioned her handling of this theme of memory as resistance.
Oh, interesting.
What do they mean by that?
Well, in the novel, memory isn't just about remembering the past, it's about reclaiming those memories, particularly the memories of marginalized communities, and using them as this form of resistance against oppression. Think about it. When you control the narrative, you control the power.
That's true.
So by reclaiming those memories, you're reclaiming your history,
Your identity.
your power.
It makes me think of how certain cultures have used storytelling and music as ways to preserve their traditions.
Absolutely.
And resist assimilation.
Hairston takes that idea to a futuristic level, showing how those memories can be harnessed through music, through technology, to fight against the forces that try to erase them. It's like this battle for the soul of the future, and memory is the weapon.
That is, wow, that's heavy stuff.
It is.
That's powerful.
Yeah. It's like Hairston is saying, look, you carry your history within you.
Yeah.
And that history, it's a source of power, not something to be, ashamed of or forgotten.
Yeah. That resonates with me a lot, actually. I'm digging into my own family history lately, and it's amazing how these stories from the past, they can make you feel so connected to something bigger than yourself.
It's that feeling of belonging, right?
Yeah.
Understanding where you come from. That can be so powerful, especially for communities whose histories have been marginalized or even, like, erased.
Hmm.
Hairston shows how reclaiming those memories can be a revolutionary act, a way to, like, challenge the dominant narratives and assert your own truth.
And it's not just about individual stories, right?
Yeah.
It's about a collective memory.
Absolutely, a shared history that binds people together. Think of it like this. Each individual memory is like a thread, right?
Okay.
When you weave those threads together,
Yeah.
you create this rich tapestry of experience, a collective narrative that can inspire, empower an entire community.
I like that.
That's what Hairston's doing in the Archangels of Funk.
Yeah.
We're weaving together these individual stories into this larger tapestry of resistance, cultural revival.
It's like she's taking those like fragmented memories,
Yeah,
piecing them back together,
exactly.
creating something whole, something beautiful, something powerful.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
And she does it through this incredible blend of science fiction, social commentary, and like this cultural exploration. It's Afrofuturism at its finest, using the future to kind of reimagine the past and present.
Okay. You've mentioned Afrofuturism a couple times now.
I have, yeah.
Could you break it down for our listener who maybe, isn't familiar with the term? What is Afrofuturism and how does it play out in Archangels of Funk?
So think of it as science fiction, but it centers Black experiences, Black perspectives, and aesthetics.
Okay.
It's about imagining futures where Black people thrive, where technology and tradition intersect in these new and exciting ways. It's not just about representation. It's about reclaiming the narrative, about envisioning a future that's rooted in Black culture and history.
So it's not just about like putting Black characters in a futuristic setting. It's about creating a whole new vision of the future that challenges the dominant narratives.
Exactly. It's about reimagining the possibilities, pushing back against that often Eurocentric lens of traditional science fiction, creating something that's truly unique and empowering. And Hairston does this masterfully.
Can you give us an example of how she does that in Archangels of Funk? What are some of the elements that make this book distinctly Afrofuturist?
Well, the setting itself,
Yeah,
utopia noir.
right.
It's a great example. It's this vibrant, technologically advanced city. But it's deeply rooted in Black culture, from the music to the food to the social dynamics. And then you have characters like Lucinda, who embodies this connection to ancestral memories and uses her music as this tool for resistance, right? And the archangels, these mythical beings who blur the lines between technology and spirituality.
It's interesting how she blends the technological with the spiritual. It's
Yeah.
not this either scenario. It's like
Right.
she's saying they can both coexist and even enhance each other.
That's one of the things I love about Afrofuturism. It embraces both, the technological and the spiritual, recognizing that these aren't, mutually exclusive concepts. In fact, they can be, complementary, each enriching the other.
Makes me think of those incredible costumes in Black Panther, how they blended those traditional African designs with this cutting edge technology. It was like this visual representation of Afrofuturism where the past and the future were just like seamlessly woven together.
Exactly. That's what Hairston does so well in Archangels of Funk. She creates this world that feels both futuristic and familiar, blending technology with tradition, spirituality with science. And it all comes together in this really compelling and thought-provoking way.
So we've got this incredible world, these complex characters, this deep exploration of memory and resistance, but it all comes down to the writing, right?
It does.
How does Hairston pull it all together?
Her writing style, like we mentioned before, is incredibly rhythmic and evocative. She uses language in a way that mimics the energy and flow of funk music.
So you can practically hear the bass line throbbing through the words.
Exactly. It's like she's conducting an orchestra with her words, building this symphony of sound and imagery that pulls you right into the story.
And it's not just about the rhythm, right?
Right.
There's also these incredibly vivid descriptions
Oh, yeah.
that really bring the world to life.
Oh, absolutely. The way she describes utopia noir, for example, is just breathtaking. You can practically feel the neon lights buzzing against your skin, smell the spicy aromas wafting from the street vendors, hear the pulsating rhythms of the funk music echoing through the alleyways. It's like you're right there in the heart of the city.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very immersive.
And it's not just the setting, right?
Right.
She paints these like incredibly rich portraits of her characters,
It does.
revealing their inner lives and motivations with such depth.
Yeah, with such nuance. It's like she's inviting you into their minds, letting you experience the world through their eyes, feel their joys and sorrows, understand their hopes and fears. It's a truly immersive experience.
It really is. And then, of course, we have the audiobook narration,
Oh, yes.
which like takes it to another level.
Yeah, January LaVoy's performance it's phenomenal. She captures the spirit of the novel perfectly, bringing the characters to life with such vibrancy and authenticity. It's like she's channeling the soul of the story,
Wow.
infusing every word with this emotion and energy.
The review you sent in specifically mentioned how she handles the character of Lucinda, bringing out her strength but also her vulnerability. It sounded like Lavoie really, really understood the heart of this character.
Absolutely. And it's not just Lucinda. She brings all the characters to life,
Mm-hmm.
giving each one a unique voice and personality. It's like she's conducting a symphony of voices,
Yeah.
weaving them together into this rich and textured tapestry of sound.
So for you, what's the biggest takeaway from Archangels of Funk? What makes this book so special?
For me, it's a reminder that science fiction can be more than just, spaceships and aliens. It can be a powerful tool for exploring social issues,
Mm-hmm.
cultural identity, the human condition. It can challenge us to think differently about the world,
Yeah.
of our place in it, about the possibilities of the future.
And it can be incredibly fun and entertaining, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Archangels of Funk so brilliant. It's a book that'll make you think, it'll make you feel, and it'll make you groove all at the same time.
It feels like she's really pushing the boundaries of the genre,
Yeah.
using science fiction as a platform to explore these like deep, meaningful themes.
Absolutely. She's not afraid to tackle, complex issues like social injustice, cultural appropriation, even the legacy of trauma.
Yeah.
But she does it in a way that's both thought-provoking and engaging.
Right.
It's not like preachy,
No.
It's woven into the fabric of the story.
Yeah.
It emerges organically from the characters and their experiences.
And that's what makes it so powerful, right? You're not just being lectured to.
Wow.
You're experiencing these ideas through the lives of these characters.
Exactly.
Feeling their struggles and their triumphs as if they were your own.
It's that emotional connection that makes those ideas really resonate deeply.
Sure.
You're not just, intellectually processing information.
Right.
You're feeling it in your gut.
Yeah, and it's like she's saying, hey, this is what it feels like to live in a world where your history is being erased,
Yeah.
where your identity is being denied,
Mm-hmm.
where your voice is being silenced. Now what are you going to do about it?
And that's the beauty of Afrofuturism, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about imagining a better future.
Right.
It's about inspiring action in the present, saying, we have the power to shape our own destiny, to create a world where everyone's voice is heard, where everyone's story is valued.
Absolutely. So if someone were to ask you, why should I read Archangels of Funk? What would you say?
Oh, I'd say get ready for a wild ride.
Okay.
You're going to be transported to this world. It's both familiar and strange, where the past and the future collide, where music is a weapon and memory is a form of resistance. You're going to meet characters who'll challenge your assumptions, make you think differently about the world, and inspire you to fight for what you believe in.
And don't forget the audiobook.
Oh, the audiobook.
Sounds like a truly immersive experience.
It is.
Especially with January Lavoie's narration.
Oh, absolutely. Her performance, it elevates the story to a whole new level,
Wow.
bringing the characters and the world to life with this incredible vibrancy and nuance.
Yeah.
It's like listening to a symphony of voices and sounds.
I like that.
A truly captivating experience.
To wrap things up, I want to circle back to that thought-provoking question from the review.
Okay.
If you could access ancestral memories through music, what stories would you uncover? And how might they shape your future?
It's a powerful question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Makes you think about the hidden stories within us, the legacies we carry, the connections that bind us to the past. It challenges us to consider how those stories can inform our present and shape our future.
It's like HAIRSTON is saying, the past isn't dead, it's alive within us, waiting to be rediscovered, reclaimed, reimagined. And it has the power to change the world.
And that's the beauty of Archangels of Funk, right?
Yeah,
It's a book that will stay with you long after you finished reading it,
for sure.
prompting you to reflect on your own journey, your own connections to the past, and your own power to shape the future.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Archangels of Funk.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you've enjoyed the journey, and we encourage you to explore Hairston's work and the world of Afrofuturism. Until next time, keep diving deep, keep exploring, and keep listening for the stories that resonate with your soul.
Candles flicker with a gentle glow in the silence. Let my mind flow. Turn the page, lose my place, lose my place. And this story ends. Characters come to life in my mind, living tales that words design. A different realm I'm sure to find. With each line, stars align. Whispers of blood in the air. In this moment, there's no care.